I found you through the subreddit Learn Dota 2, saw your posts, subscribed to your channel. I actually had a Juggernaut replay that I kind of put on the Learn Dota 2 subreddit, and you kind of responded to that when you kind of mentioned some of the things that I did wrong. So kind of started following you and thought that you might help me with improving my game.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I think about it, the game is mostly in terms of patterns or certain concepts that I kind of repeat during the game. And generally, that's like the game plays out in a general way. Of course, there can be other exceptions, but I try to follow a certain set of patterns. So, for example, one of those could be like pushing in top or mid during the mid late game and controlling the Rosh pit. Um, so, I had a few questions related to that. So, I guess my first question is generally, if you try to push in the enemy safe lane, what if your mid and off lane is constantly taking your camps from behind and they won't listen and you know they won't stop taking your farm in the triangle and you're trying to push in the lane or getting the lane creeps but you're not getting your triangle rotation. So what do you do in that case? Do you like go to the to the dead lane? Like what do you do?
Um, I mean, I feel like that's pretty situational depending on like what heroes like are actually involved. Because I feel like the right like this like there's no one answer for like you know all heroes.
Right.
Um, like in general, like if you find that like your team's like made their way into the triangle like behind you, like you can just tell them to like kind of connect to you. Like usually you would look to like kind of connect together, right? Because like there's no scenario where you're just like where you're farming and your team's farming and then when everybody's done farming like nothing happens. Like if all the cores in your team are farming and then you farm the whole map, like then you just need to
Yes.
go do something instead of like wait for more camps to spawn or like try and trek it all the way to the other side of the map or something, you know? So like in that
Yes.
situation, you should probably be looking to like make a play, like group up and like smoke as opposed to just like be sad that your camps are gone and then like go to the dead lane to like find more camps. Like that's usually not the right answer.
Okay. So I guess there's a little bit of a problem in the sense that I don't really sort of talk on the mic in the game, and it's inefficient to kind of just put it in the chat over and over again. So a lot of times it doesn't even work. Like you'll ping a smoke or something, and sometimes it'll work, and sometimes it won't. So um, I guess my takeaway from that would be like maybe try to smoke at that point if your camps are gone or something. But yeah, I mean it's pretty situational in that sense as well, because if you're waiting for a timing or something, then you don't know what to do. So
Yeah. And you know, you don't
okay,
like I encourage like using communication not all the time. Like I don't think it's good to like be constantly talking or something, but like if you're in that exact situation and you're like what do I do now? Like you can just like you don't have to type a lot, right? You're like let's group and smoke or like I have X item, like let's go for a play or something like that. And if it
yeah,
doesn't work, then like yeah, you just have to like kind of chill. But in that situation, like it's not always, or in any situation in Dota, like regardless of your carry or mid or whatever, it's not always about like what you want to do. Like you have to be like kind of in touch to some extent with like what your team's looking to do. Just because like you're the carry doesn't mean like your offlaner might not be ready to fight because they're like got a spell on cooldown or like they're close to an item. So kind of look to
right,
pay attention to those kinds of things. And sometimes your team's just griefing. And
right,
that's life.
okay. Um, okay, so when is it appropriate to farm deeper into the enemy jungle tri-camp area? So if you're pushing in the top, enemy safe lane, sometimes I've seen people make their rotation into the enemy tri-camp area, jungle area, but I feel that's super unsafe. Like you can just get a call out super easily there, and I rarely do that. You think it's like, it's something that I should incorporate generally more, or because I rarely do it. Like, do you think that that's a thing, or do you think it's just safe to take the two camps and then back to a triangle?
So you're talking about not the triangle, but you're talking about like the jungle kind of closer
Be
to
jungle.
like the tier 2 of like the
Yes.
respective like safe lane.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just about understanding your limits on whatever hero you're playing. You have to look at the enemy. You have to look at your map, and you have to look at the enemy like heroes, and you have to decide if like, what you think they're doing and like what you think you can get away with.
Yes.
There's no real shortcut there. Like we can talk about any specific situation. Like there's a specific example we could talk, for 10 minutes about it, but like without a specific example, there's not a whole lot to say.
Okay.
In that regard, other than just, you want to push your limits to some extent, but like if you don't know them, then
Okay.
maybe go for
Okay.
it, and if it doesn't work, then try and learn from it.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll share our match ID.
Yeah, you can just send it to me over Discord, and then I'll boot it up,
Sure.
and then I'll start my stream so that you can watch. Some good questions though. I can tell you're like thinking about the game in a analytical way, which is like good. It's just it is just hard to know sometimes if there's no specific examples. There's just no easy shortcuts in Dota. So
Yeah, I couldn't easily think past those situations. Like I just hit a wall over and over again. Like I don't know what to do in the situations. Like and turns out that they're difficult situations. You can't easily just get a shortcut and get an answer to those.
So who are you in this game?
I'm the Luna.
Okay. Sweet. Can you see my screen? Screen share working?
Yeah, I can. Also, a question: will this be recorded or you put it on your YouTube?
Yeah, I am recording. I'll usually put things on my YouTube if you don't want it to go up, or if you want it to be like made private and not public, like that's fine.
No, I'm okay with it being put on
Okay.
your YouTube. I was just
Then,
asking,
yeah, it'll be up there.
because yeah, okay, great.
Yeah, you'll be able to watch this back if you need to. Actually, I recommend
Yeah.
watching it back. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing this probably happens a lot in your game. Wait, what's your Archon 5? Okay, so you're not super low. You're bordering on being a decent player here. So I'm sure a lot of your lanes kind of look like this, where I guess as the carry, this might be on you a little bit. Like, I wouldn't think that Luna would be a good pick here, just based on what your supports are. Presumably you pick after them.
Right. Yes.
This is a pos 5 CM. So like CM as a hero conceptually is like a very squishy backline range support, and
Yes.
in the lane you're very susceptible to just being like ran at, and you're kind of dependent on having a hero that stands in front of you and like
Yes.
doesn't let you get ran at. So like I don't think Luna is a good pick here, and you're just making your life hard when you don't pick heroes that are like, at least it doesn't have to be like the perfect CM pairing, right? I don't need you to pick Juggernaut every time you see a CM.
Yes.
But I would just avoid these, like, especially these double ranged lanes. They just do not go well on average. Like, it's very hard to make those go well. The enemy kind of has to screw up. And
Okay. Okay. So I have a question here. So I watched the BSJ video. I don't know if you he put out a video about sort of dual lanes, about which support goes with which carry.
yeah, that was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I saw that.
yeah. So I kind of understood here that maybe Luna doesn't go super well at CM, but I think that in this game Juggernaut was banned, and he's kind of the only carry apart from Bristleback that I play right now that isn't sort of that kind of goes well with CM. Otherwise, I play like Drow or Weaver or Dusa, which I'm guessing are not good pairings with CM. So
Yeah.
so it was like, okay, then either I can go Bristleback, but so from a learning perspective, what I kind of do is I kind of spam 2 or 3 heroes like Luna or Jug or some other Drow maybe. Like I'll spam 2 or 3 heroes, and if I get into an uncomfortable situation, I'll try to learn from it. But do you think that that's a good idea, or do you think I should like widen my hero pool from a learning perspective?
I think it is a good idea to like spam heroes to like get better at the game. There's actually a Z Quixotic YouTube video kind of like on this. I think it's from a while ago actually, but it's still valid, where he talks about like how the best way to climb is like spamming the same hero over and over, And
Yeah,
then,
I've seen that.
you know, yeah, you'll be in bad matchups. You'll have bad like lanes like this, right? Because you're just picking regardless of what your support picks.
Yeah.
It can be bad. So if that's your like, you know, kind of context for picking this, like I don't mind that. It is important
Yeah.
to just keep in mind, like you're like, okay, I'm gonna pick Luna because I'm spamming it, even though I have a CM, and you just have to kind of recognize that it's not gonna go particularly well, and you'll just need to like, you'll need to in some sense like just play around that, and like but you should have an idea, especially starting to get into like ancient or whatever. You should have some idea of like how strong your lane is, right?
Right. Right.
So if you're just gonna pick it anyways, that's totally fine, and then you just we'll see like how well you like play around it.
Okay.
So you have your E. You're starting off being pretty aggressive on the Timber. I kind of like that. It's like kind of what you want to do against Timber, so it's pretty good. I think you definitely want to be heavily denying here. As soon as the aggression is over,
Yeah.
I think this is like pretty good to start, and then you're like getting the CS right. But I'd be looking to like you get that deny right, and then you get this last hit, and then here I'd be
Yeah.
heavily denying.
Right.
Also, I don't know if you know this, but this range creep has been attacking you the whole time, which
Yes.
isn't that bad. Like, well, it's annoying damage-wise. Like, it's probably like an extra like 80 damage you need to take. But you can get them to stop attacking you the same way that you do with a tower. Like, if you're de-aggroing
Yeah, I know
from a
that.
tower. Okay,
Yeah.
that would have been nice to do because it actually would have. If you had done that, it's actually the same. It's you do it by like a-clicking your own creeps, right? So if you had actually just been a-clicking this to deny it, it would have switched to hit this other one, and then you could have denied that one too.
Yes. Yes.
So it would have been like a twofer. But yeah, instead, you're like not denying at all. And so the lane's just going to push out pretty hard here.
Yeah.
And if you were aggressively denying, it would still be pushing, but it's not the end of the world, and you could just like prevent it from pushing a little bit.
Yeah.
Alright. This isn't going too bad.
Absolutely not.
There's like some good pot shots. It's nice. You guys are like running a tri lane for some reason here. It's kind of interesting. Cool. Okay. Band of Elven skin. That's reasonable, I think, given what's happening in your lane. I don't mind that. It's going pretty well. It's just a fun
So even though
scenario.
even though it's going well, I'm kind of thinking of rotating to the jungle eventually because I feel like once Timber hits level 5, I won't be able to do much, or 6.
That is reasonable. I agree with you, unless you're completely owning him. But, you know,
Yeah.
I think given what's happening, your items will help you stay in the lane if you want to, if you're owning him. I think it'll help either way, so that's why I think it's reasonable.
Right.
You have to go to the jungle also. Yeah, okay. You're playing fine here. Unfortunate that you like have a tri-lane going, but then like you guys aren't like
This'll come in handy.
you only have 2 heroes in the lane at a time. Last like a minute. It's just kind of funny. Okay, so you're getting some more tangos. It's reasonable. You can consider salving, but I don't mind the tangos. I myself like fly out tangos a lot of time, and then by the time they get out to me, I'm like, man, I wish that was a salve instead of tangos.
Right. Right.
But you know, it's gonna get always. You like to have an idea of like guess what's gonna happen. Okay, so you kill the Timber again. And the CM's pulling again. Alright, this is fine. I feel like you're playing this pretty well so far. I don't have any major complaints. Like, you're kind of chilling. You're not putting yourself like out of position. You guys like got a lead, but you're not like overextending in any way. This I think is a little weird. This is the first time where I'm like, what is he doing? Like you killed the creeps, so you like have this. You have time, but
That was the idea here, yeah. But
yeah, I just think it's important to like consider like what. I mean, this is just like a bad trade because or whatever. Like this is just like where the lane dynamic comes into play, where like you just don't want a front line for the CM. So like, given your two heroes, like this is like sort of like how this would work, but right, like so one of you has to tank this Venge stun, and then get Timber spelled, like for this interaction to like go, right? If all four heroes use their spells, one of you is getting Venge stunned into like Timber spelled, right?
Yes.
And like you really don't want it to be you, but you really don't want it to be your CM either, because like you don't help your CM. So this is kind of like the lane dynamic where, given a different hero, like what you're doing is like sort of okay. Like if you're a hero that's like okay with, you know, taking the stun, like if you're like a CK, right? You're like, yeah, like say you're owning or something, right? I mean,
Yeah.
CK in a bad lane wouldn't want to do that either, but like, you know, whatever. If you're a tanky hero and you're like, okay, yeah, they're gonna stun me, but then we're gonna like go on them anyways, and like CM's gonna back me up.
Yeah.
And what you're doing isn't like terrible. Granted, now it is, because now creeps are meeting again, so like this becomes really inefficient for you because you're missing creeps. But like prior to that, but because of your lane duo looking for this aggression, I think it was just bad overall, just because one of you is gonna have to like tank these spells, and neither of you want to do it, so I would just be looking to avoid it.
Right.
Like the poking in the lane kind of works, because like you don't have to like take their spells, or if you do, there's like, you know, kind of creeps around that like influence like the other factors.
Yes.
But you know, now they're getting levels too, so their spells just hurt worse than they did like 2 minutes ago.
Yes.
So
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
that was really nice going on when he's like separated from the Timber. Okay, so you got Glaives. This is like reasonable. I don't mind the second point in your queue because you guys were doing so well, but I like that you're going back for Glaives now, not like kind of going all in.
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
There's like no creep camps around. So you're going back here. So like what you're looking to do, where you like look to like leave the lane and go like hit a jungle camp in the meantime, is like good, but I think you kind of mess it up here in the like the timing. So like you
Right.
kill the Venge and you killed these creeps, or these creeps died, right? So now you have the time to go hit a jungle camp, but
Yes.
instead you do
I'm
nothing.
grateful.
It was like 6:44 was when you like could have like left originally, and like now
Yeah.
it's 6:56 and there's creeps here again. So like there's 12 seconds, and like you were kind of like, I could tell, right? You were like kind of looking and you're like, okay, there's no camps here to farm. It would have been nice to hit one of those, but
Yeah.
now it's 6:56 and the creeps are here and you're still like walking away. Like you need to be back over here, or like being able to head back over here soon based
Yeah.
on like the creep timings, and instead you like kind of make this rotation over here anyways.
Yeah.
And I totally get the idea behind it, but it's just, and if there would have been a camp here, it would have been like totally correct to like go farm it in the meantime. But because you had to walk
Right.
so far away, like you needed to like leave right away to like go do this, and then given that like you didn't, and then you were like lingering, it would have been more correct to like stay and then push out this wave, because you can aggressively push out this wave and then still go do what you're doing.
So, okay. So the question here I have is that what happened is that I kind of realized that the creep was coming, creep wave was coming, but I kind of didn't want to press the timber for it. He had built up his reactive, so I was like, he's gonna like run at me, and you know, I'm gonna get like 2 creeps at most and lose like half my HP. So I was like, okay, you know, the way he's playing, he'll push it into me. So in the meantime, I'll take the camp.
I kind of get that. I think because Venge had died, I would have like favored being around to like just kill this wave as soon as possible. Also, we see on our map that like Venge isn't there either. So like the Venge isn't coming
Right.
back, and given that the Venge is not coming back, like I don't mind if you were to like ignore him. In fact, that's what I would like recommend. Like if you had stayed, I would have wanted you at this phase to like just kill these creeps ASAP and then like start jungling,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
I get what you're saying, and that's not a terrible thought process. It's just, you know, it's
Yeah.
just like that one wave like less efficient than it could be.
Right. Right.
So you come over here now. So like this is what I would say here. Like I don't, well, given these alone, it's not that bad, but like you can tell, like 3 points in reactive is like,
Dire's top tower is under attack.
right?
Yeah.
Unless CM's gonna like, yeah, your CM's like not building very aggressively. If he had like 1 more point in one of these spells and was happy to like use all of his spells, like I don't know why he's not casting all of these spells.
Dire's top tower.
But given that's the case, I just wouldn't be like really trying to like get this timber down. I really want you to like kill these as fast as possible. So
Dire's middle
Right.
it doesn't go too bad. Like he can't be aggressive on you. You do get him low, and then you do clear this fast. You could have
Yeah.
also like killed this sentry earlier as well. Like if you were looking to start farming these camps, so you can just kill the sentry if you're like, I don't want this to be blocked anymore.
Right.
Here, this I don't really understand because I thought you could just go jungle right now and then come back right here. Like just go do the
Yeah.
small camp, right?
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
maybe you were like waiting for your CM to like get a pull off, but at this point you don't need the pulls to go off.
Yeah.
And at this phase, like this timber's gonna hit 6 soon, and like you said, you're like gonna kind of not want to be here probably, especially
Yeah.
given the CM's not like being aggressive and like helping you kill this guy. So I would just
Yeah.
be looking to play for like maximum efficiency here, which would have been killing the small camp, then coming back to do this, probably decentering this so that it spawns. You could do that too, especially given you have the vamp mask. Nice, so you're done.
Dire's
Okay,
structures are fortified.
nice. That was a weird TP.
Yeah. I thought I'll go and farm that creep wave, but then Taunt repeat there, so I was like, okay, I can't go there.
Yeah, this is way no, this is way too early for you to be looking to like go farm a creep wave like this. Like normally, like later in the game, like as a carry, you should be looking to like possibly like TP up here to like farm the creep wave that's getting pushed in. Like that wouldn't be a bad idea, but this is just way too early.
Is there a way to tell when it's too early?
Well, if you can still like participate and defend this tower that's alive, or like farm the creeps in this lane, like your number one goal as the carry in like a game where the lane's going well should be to like continually farm bottom lane and make them bring like a bunch of heroes to like boot you out without dying.
Okay.
And
okay.
whatever's happening like in the off lane is like kind of whatever. Like it's not your job to like go TP up here. The earliest that I would ever consider going up here is like my bottom tower's like dead, or I have like a position 5, like a wyvern or a tree who's like really happy to like just sit here, right? So I don't need to be there
Yeah.
for the tower to be defended. And like their tower needs to like be dead so that they can't just like react and kill me. Because like if you had completed this TP, you'd be here.
Yes.
They just have this tower, and like the PA's like still in this lane. Like they're like getting kills up here, you know? Like you're really at threat if you're like up here in this lane.
Right.
Versus like if
right.
you're just like chilling in your jungle, you're not this early in the game,
Right.
you're not really at that threat. So yeah, definitely way too early there, and hopefully those guidelines can help you on like
Right,
when
right.
not too early is. But I would say minute wise, probably not. I would say 10 minutes like the earliest, but that's in like high level games where like more has happened already.
Right.
At your games at your level, like these towers aren't usually going to be dead at 10 minutes. So that's probably still too early for you. I would say at minimum, like probably minute like 13, 14 at like your level.
Yes.
But okay, you didn't make the TP, which is good. Very weird
Yeah.
attempt. But you, based on what you said, you probably would have if Dawn hadn't. So I
Yes.
thought it was worth
Yes.
talking about.
Yes.
Okay. So now we're jungling, and yeah, I don't think you had to leave, like not go back bottom here. Like I liked that you came and jungled. Slow down, go back further. Let's just rewatch actually this sequence, ignoring the TP. So you didn't TP. And this is the first wave coming back. So I think you just need to head back to your lane right here. Like it's fine that you walked over to farm this camp. But like you're still strong, you're full resources, the CM is full resources. Like you can come back over here, push this out again, and then like farm these camps and like continue playing a little bit in this area while obviously not like directly confronting the Timber Saw.
So even against, even if it's like Timber 6, I still try and play in that area.
Yeah, and this is just about knowing your limits, right? Like if you're a different hero
Right.
where like Timber 6 just completely screws you over, like if you're like, you know, like if you're like a PL or something, and like if
Yes.
you walk over there, Timber's just gonna like run at you and you just can't do jack shit about it, and you also
Yeah.
can't clear the camps in any way, then like yeah, you don't want to like go back over there. But
Yes.
if you're like as Luna And this kind of works on like not any ranged hero, that's not true. Like Drow also would be like kind of not super stoked about going there. But even Drow, like you can like clear the wave fast, right? If you're
Right.
Drow, you have like your E, and you could just like not fight the Timber. You could do it from safety, and then like you just do the same rotation like more safely. It's a high move speed hero like Luna, like you, and with like glaives, you just kind of run over here, clear it. Like maybe he goes on you, you know, you run under your tower, and then you like go back to the rotation, and he can't really like chase you because
Right.
he's a Timber and you're fast, and he's got creeps to worry about for himself, right?
Yes.
So I would look to like play more down here when you think it's possible, and if you're not sure, you know, maybe test your limits a little bit more. But like, yes, Timber 6 is like scary, but think about, you know, how the lane's going in your hero. Like, you are very strong. Like, you guys did well in your lane. Like, I wouldn't be scared of Timber 6 in like this scenario.
Right.
Like I said,
Right.
like, and no, I'm not looking to like fight him or kill him, right? I don't care if he like wants to like feed and like dive into 2 heroes alone. Like, sure, he can die, but
Right. Right.
giving him this like free aggression, like this is like free aggression you're giving him that I don't think you need to, because his aggressive potential at level 7 with like 3 points in reactive is like not that high on you guys, given like how high level I mean, with CM6 you can even almost kill this guy, except that he has hood, which is
Right.
probably a good item choice from him. But you can definitely be farming these creeps and then like defending this tower, because CM cannot solo defend this tower,
Right. Right.
and you can basically by like killing the creeps. So that's
Yes.
something that you want to consider, is like, can I keep defending this tower? Like, do I have an impact here? So that's part of what
Right.
we talked about in when you want to leave the lane, right? Is like, if you have a 5 that can like safely do the job, then you don't need to be there. But if you don't have a 5 that can safely do that job and you can, it's your job to like be there. So like your
Yes.
CM is dying right now. Oh, oh. Wow, your CM actually solo killed this Timber. Oh, the puck came to help, so it wasn't a solo kill. But you know, that could have, if puck doesn't come and Timber kills this CM,
Yeah.
like that's on you kind of.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of lucky you're puck doing the rotation. Good awareness from the puck, but you know, you can't like count on that, obviously.
Yes.
But okay, it is what it is, and I like this rotation to mid from you, and this is good. Like cleaning up these waves while puck's like in a different part of the map is really nice.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Your skill build is pretty reasonable.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe go to the triangle now. And now you see the back bottom. Weird. Find your decision to go bottom here very weird, given that you like didn't want to be there before. Like, obviously you guys are like trying to kill this guy. I guess the call was made to like kill the Timber.
Yeah. I actually don't remember. I feel like you know, I felt like he was out of position, and I already saw him die once. So I feel like maybe we can do something. But you know, it's obviously not a very well thought out decision.
Yeah, I don't think this TP is good just because you have a lot, like, your team can look to punish this, but I don't think it's your job to like punish this. As carry at this phase, like, right, I said you could have stayed in the area in the first place, but given that you've like left now and you're like in your like other rotation of like how you're going to be farming, I think like you coming down here just like totally throws that off and will throw the whole map off. Because if you look at the timer, like, right, you just farm the triangle and it's
Yeah.
about to like respawn. And
Yes.
then there's like, you know, I don't know if you want to like fight the PA. I don't know if the PA is around, but like you could look to like farm this camp, right? And then like,
Yes.
if you don't see anybody, then maybe you don't farm the lane. You just walk back to your triangle, and then you
Yes.
come back to the lane if they pushed into you. Yeah, this team just kind of like throws off your whole farming rotation, I think, and it puts a bunch of core. Give me a Dawnbreaker just TP'd back. This actually doesn't
Dire's
isn't gonna work out that
bottom
poorly.
tower is under attack. Dire's
But yeah, I think
middle tower is
overall
under
you'd
attack.
rather just not do that. It's gonna work out. Because basically, you're doing the right thing. Like, right, you farmed up and now you're farming back over. So, like, given that, you're, like, kind of doing the right thing here. I look looking a mid again, which you are. This is really nice. Good, good, good.
Radiant's bottom Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So here, this is a very, I think, advanced concept, but given the exact state of the map right now, we'll slow down a little bit. Like, there's a fight happening top. Timber died top.
Yeah.
And your whole team's up there. This is an opportunity where I think you should be looking to like farm your way back towards bottom, which sounds kind of weird. I think.
No, I thought so actually. I mean, I didn't think so in the game, but now when you mentioned that there is something that you have to do here, like you kind of alluded to it. So I felt like, okay, the creep wave's coming. I could have actually found my way back while leaving the triangle open for my team, and they can farm backwards. I mean, that's the way I'm thinking about it. But
Yeah, well, so here's the thing: is yes, not in terms of. I wouldn't say it's in terms of leaving the triangle open for your team.
oh, okay.
I mean, in this game, none of your heroes really farm the triangle. Like, Dawnbreaker's not a good triangle farmer, really. So, like, nobody's really going to be farming your triangle in the meantime anyways. But you're about to have all these camps respawn, and you've got this, like, timing window where there's not going to be anybody down here, down bottom. Because I think
Yes.
especially as this goes on, I think more heroes show up top.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe not. It's just farming towards your team is what's happening here. Because what's going to happen is you're going to farm these two camps. And then what are you going to do? It's like a P at bottom. That's weird. You didn't farm your ancients here and you're running through this fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The alternative to like going bottom would be kind of be to connect up with your team. I think you should have farmed the ancients first. I don't know why you didn't do that. But then coming up here and taking this tower is pretty reasonable.
Are fortified. Dire's top tower.
Yeah, and what I was saying about going bottom, right? You'll have all these camps, and then you'll have this like time to like push it out, right? And then from there you'll have your TP up. So like, depending on the timer, if you make it fast enough, it might be too long before all the camps like respawn. And then in which case, like, if you really needed to, you could like TP away, or you like make your way over here, push in the lane a little bit, and then farm your way back all the way across the map, and then into the triangle.
Right.
Attack. Dire's top tower.
This works out okay, and it's not like what you did is not like way suboptimal. It's like pretty minor efficiency stuff that I was talking
Is
about.
under attack.
Right.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So this is a really bad TP, and it's because you don't look at what's happening. Like, you should never, ever, ever TP on carry if you're not looking at what's happening and like making a determination on whether it's like worth it for you to show up to that. Because you're walking away from a big creep wave and like plenty of farm if you wanted to farm towards the fight anyways. And then if not, the camps are respawning, so then you could like farm your way backwards and do the triangle again. Like, you're walking away, you're TPing away from a lot of farm in front of you, and you don't know what you're TPing into because you didn't look.
Yeah.
So like, I don't even care what's happening. The point is like you didn't even check, because what's happening is like this. It's like, do you need to like show up to this right now? No. So like, you're just TPing away from a lot of farm, and this is like something that I think players at your level will do a lot. Is like their TP usage is really bad. And it doesn't seem that bad because, like, you know, like, I'm sure you don't like walk in and feed here. Watch and see what happens first. You know, not being needed, right? Like, you didn't. Oh, what's gonna happen there? Are you gonna feed? No. So like, right? You didn't feed, right? You're like, oh, we like took their, you know, we like forced them away. We took their stacks and their triangle, right? Like, isn't this good? but I just don't think this is good at all. You're giving up a lot of area of the map where like their PL or something could be farming.
Yeah.
And instead you could be farming it, and like A, fights in the triangle could easily go bad. Like you don't have your BKB, and
Yeah.
B, like the I think it's just the space that you're like possibly giving to them. Like this doesn't like improve your guys' map control really. It just makes the map like really awkward for you guys. Really awkward.
Okay, so when you say map becomes awkward, it's hard for me to tell what I'm looking at. Like, does it mean that we're all farming the same part of the map? Is that what you mean when you say map's awkward?
It's a good question. So, like, just objectively, you guys should be taking aggressive plays, like, in their jungle. Like, this is where you want your aggressive plays to be, as, like, a Radiant team.
Yeah.
It's, like, the top jungle, and, like, Dire, it's flipped, like, the bottom jungle.
Yes.
And, like, this just goes back to, like, the order of the objectives and, like, control, like, which part of the map, like, is it worth it for you guys to control?
Yeah.
It's better to get this pushed all the way in and control this and have your team push in mid and then be able to play up here, and then you finish your BKB, and then you have Roshan as an option, or if you're feeling really strong you have this tier 2 as an option, versus like if you're farming here and then you split up, like you just cede all like good map control, like you have none of this controlled which you'd want. You're going to be leaving here anyways because you don't want to stick around, so then you're going to be stuck in your own jungle, and that basically just cedes the enemy like a large portion of the map that when you're this ahead, like, they just shouldn't be getting.
Right.
So, like, I just, like, the fact that nobody's, like, top right now, so your Puck TP's top, which is good, but, like, just nothing about this move, like, progressed the game, and in fact, it, like, reversed the progression of the game almost. Like, even though you got a kill on the PA, it, like, you were here poised to like push it into here, and like now it's just like backslid as a result of that.
Yes.
So like we'll see. Hold on, just I'm not gonna re-go over the whole thing, but when do you make this TP? Because I want to look at. Okay, so you go here. I want to look at like when the game timer was. So it was like right at 16 minutes. That you guys had like that good map positioning, and we'll try and see what the game timer is when you guys again have like good map positioning. That also includes like you like being close to an item or having an item and then being like poised like effectively, poised in like an effective part of the map to like then take it, right?
Right.
PL's getting a bunch of farm top, PA's free farming bottom, your team's getting baited bottom to kill the PA, just like, you know. Sure, they kill him. Mid. You have your BKB now. So yeah, like here, this is like nice, right? But this happened at like 1920, right?
Yeah.
Versus, and yeah, you wouldn't have had your BKB yet, but like this same sort of move could have happened like at 1620, because you could have just pushed this in and then walked over here, and your team, you know, was kind of fighting here, and then they could have connected to you, and vice versa, you to them, and then you would have been up here, you know, poised to do whatever you want and control the two important lanes, you know, at 1620 instead of 1920. And it's just these kinds of things that slow the game down and allow lineups like theirs with like a PA and a PL to like catch up, right, and like scale, right?
Yeah.
And there's, it doesn't matter what their lineup is. Like, even if their lineup doesn't scale as well as yours, if you're ahead, you should still be playing to, like, progress the game, because that's what, like, allows you, like, getting objectives when you're ahead is good, and if you just delay the game, it just allows opportunities for them to, like, catch up.
Right.
Kind of a nice fight near the tower. You back up on the triangle. This is all pretty reasonable because it like was off the back of that like fight here. Top is still pushed in a decent amount. You know that they're not like farming up here. So like now this triangle like kind of farming and stuff looks pretty good, I think. It's just like way more reasonable. You guys are gonna like try and force this tower? No, you should be waiting for the field. That makes sense to me. I wasn't like super thrilled, like I wasn't super stoked about you guys looking like you were about to push that tower. Because now you can reset the map, even if the PA hadn't been there, right? Pushing top. Because you were bottom, you did all you wanted to do. And then at that point, it's just like how fast can you get the map looking like how you had it at 1920, where top's pushed in all the way, mid's pushed in, you're ready to like fight again for another objective with all your spells and items off cooldown. Like that's kind of what you're looking to do, is do that as fast as possible.
Right.
So this TP you did ended up working out. Your team kind of got in there a little early. Create support, it's not a big deal. Fortunately, your team's like feeding in the triangle here. Just go back and look at this again. So I don't think here there's anything you could have done, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's put the timber. These creeps. Yeah, you get over here pretty early. You guys kill this guy, and then you hit straight for the lane, which I really like. Your team just got ahead of themselves here. I think what you were doing is fine. The only thing you can do is like communicate like, guys, can you wait like 20 seconds? Like eclipse. Right. Right.
Right.
You just use like coil. You guys just don't have any abilities. This is like your team kind of like just griefing, but that's life, right? This isn't like a throw that's gonna end the game. Not specifically that, but like this next part where they're like running into the triangle. It's like really bad from them. We'll just focus on you, because like these plays happen at all levels, and that doesn't mean this game's like not winnable anymore, especially because you're not dying. So yeah, so here I think it would have been important to run back up into the top lane. Like right here. Your team just fed.
Yes.
So what you should do is you should farm this camp, these camps, and shove this in.
Yes.
Because that will like keep control over this part of the map, and when your team respawns, you can still play up here. And you know that they have like a bunch of heroes in their triangle, so it's not dangerous for you to like walk up here right now.
Okay, so this is not completely relevant to right now, but what takes priority generally? Getting the map looking right or farming efficiency?
Getting the map looking right is more important in my opinion. However, I would say like at least 80% of the time, it's probably the more efficient option also, because aggressively farming allows you to always farm your way backwards, whereas if you defensively farm to start, you don't always then have the opportunity once you've done the defensive farm to like go farm aggressively, or the enemy could have done it in the meantime because you were on your side of the map and they can farm their side of the map. So it's almost always better to like get the map control and farm aggressively if you can, because that just gives you guys more space behind you, which is like, even if you're not taking the camps, like neither are they, and you're taking their camps and they're getting none, versus like you taking yours and they're getting theirs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say definitely go for the map, like getting the map looking right, because yeah. So basically, we're just ceding map control here. The Dawnbreaker's kind of going up there, but she's not focusing on the lane, and she farms slower than you, so she can't do the creeps and the lane, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, your team's respawned now, but you've lost all control. You've lost all map control because they've gotten mid pushed in. Top is not pushed into them, so they don't have to worry about it. So now the map looks like this, and they have the ability to just be grouped up and, you know, kill your CM. And if you had gone top here when I said to, the Dawnbreaker wouldn't have gone top. So the Dawnbreaker would have, like, you know, maybe she would have like farmed this camp or grabbed the rune, but then maybe she would have been around mid to like keep it pushed out again, and then the map could have looked really good when your team respawned, instead of it looking not good and just being completely out of your team's control. And like, this is just something that was in your control to like
Yes.
impact. Yeah, and that's why playing carry is hard, right? It's not just like hitting creeps. Like if you're not hitting the right creeps, it really
Yes.
like throws off the whole game plan for your team. Yeah, because now they have all this space. I mean, look at the map now. Now the map's terrible.
Yeah.
And this is just
yeah.
a result of what it looked like when your team respawned and not being able to like continue to play aggressively in like their jungle.
Yeah.
So you got a pike. Kind of hate this pike actually. What is this for?
So I make this generally to. I'm kind of scared that PA is gonna jump me or the PL is gonna get on top of me, and I have no way to get out. Like if I don't have a pike.
Right, but you guys are like 8k ahead. You're like massive. So like you're really worried about a PA with no BKB or like a PL with only 2 items like getting on top of you when you guys have like all this magic damage and illusion clear. I think this maybe just your read of the game is off because like this is just a very defensive item when you guys are up 8k.
Yeah, I think that the read of the game is wrong because I'm thinking that, oh well, what will happen in this specific situation where because I'm thinking that I don't want to die. So what if they get on top of me? What if this happens? What if this happens? But that's not really relevant, right? Because we're just too far ahead.
Yeah, and like you have to be thinking like what can kill you. So that's like reasonable things to consider, but it's also like when you're this strong, what kills you? And like PA, when you're this strong and this far ahead, PA jumping on you is not what kills you. Honestly,
Yes.
like when you BKB, like nothing they have kills you right now. You're just unkillable. Assuming you're not like alone.
Yes.
What I was thinking here was like Silver Edge would be really nice because that deals with the PA. It allows you to like move around the map safely, which can kind of like avoid getting jumped on in the first place.
Yes.
And it just increases your damage output. So I think Silver Edge would be nice here. The other thing is like you're gonna have a PL problem at some point. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Luna's pretty bad against PL.
Yeah, I know. That's how we lose this game.
Yeah, so like that's lineup wise, like you guys kind of need to be looking to, continue to pressure and like force objectives while you're strong, and that's partially why this like loss of map control hurts you guys so much because they just are gonna scale way better and they have the good matchup against you guys.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, my
think that's
team-
what really ends up hurting you this game is like you just kind of don't push your timings when you have it.
Yeah.
And then you're
I'm
itemizing
impro-
defensively, which is just going to draw the game out. It's not going to like enable you offensively.
Yeah, my items, I guess, that was the wrong item choice because I kind of knew that we were on a timer and I was kind of trying to push the timings, but it didn't really work out.
Yeah, I mean, notice with the BKB, you were just unkillable, and you guys like wiped them all.
Yes.
But yeah, Silver Edge I think would have been pretty good. You could even consider something like Maelstrom, maybe. That's like really
Maelstrom?
aggressive, but like just because of the PL, like Mjolnir. I don't know if that
Right.
actually works though. But it's really unclear to me who on your team would deal with this PL. That it's like drastic measures to deal with the PL, but the PL is not out of control yet. I think I would have
Yes.
just gone like Silver Edge. And like, I don't know, would have gone really hard. I think this game goes like it almost doesn't matter what you buy. Maybe even like Aghanims or something to try and like magic burst down heroes or something in combination with like your team's like disable versus like trying to like right click them. Because you just don't right click win against PA and PL late game.
Yeah.
So
This'll kill
the
Aghanims
itemization
would
is
be
hard.
reasonable.
I definitely would have liked to see something aggressive versus the Pike. Anything aggressive, given that you guys were like ahead, it would have been better than this Pike.
Right.
We'll watch a little bit more, but then it might be good to like look at a second replay instead of
Okay.
continuing to like drill on this one.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
about
all
to be
we're
over.
gonna see is you guys like losing the matchup battle.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna lose right here. That's alright. We just lost here.
Going high ground here. Yeah, I think like given your like items, I think it just makes it really hard to like do that. Would have been nice to see the
Yeah.
map look better before you like go for this push, but I get you were trying to like force it while Timber's dead and you have Aegis, so like kind of see what you're going for here. But yeah, there's a swap on your Lion. P8 does have BKB. Eclipse hits a bunch of creeps, and at that point it's like too late. Yeah, I don't think there's anything worth watching at this point. This game like just became like almost possible to win.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so shoot me another replay.
Yeah, okay. So this is... Put it in the chat.
And yeah, I see you had queued up MKB. Did you end up finishing the MKB?
I went for the Silver Edge, I think. I think so.
You went back this way. Okay.
So I'm the Wraith King this game. I just played this one, but I was playing with a party, like a bunch of friends.
Okay.
So, yeah, I kind of zoned out a little bit while playing this, but I kind of just didn't know what to do eventually. I guess the big thing that came down to in this game is whether to get a BKB or not, because I feel like I had to burst them down with a blink.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you know, I if I go BKB, I cannot do that. I felt like. It didn't work out anyway in the end.
For battle.
I feel like Wraith King is AM definitely a BKB. So you're against Legion Sky, classic. These items aren't too bad. I would be looking to get like a You can almost like start Wand here. Like if you go like Wand and 3 Iron Branches and then fly yourself out some Tangos.
Yeah.
Kind of skips the quelling, which isn't ideal against LC. You have decent base damage. And like if you start Wand, it's like pretty efficient like gold wise because you don't have to like go upgrade it later. And then you can
Yeah,
like,
for some
focus on
reason-
just buying regen and getting an armlet.
I get a stick, so I'm, you know, for some reason, I don't get much charges against LC and Sky. Like I feel like they just hit me from range, and I never get any stick charges.
Interesting. You just defensive aggroed into your own tower?
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know. I'm trying to avoid the LC getting into a duel with LC because, I mean, not a duel, but like a man fight. Because I feel like the Wraith King doesn't really do that. But I guess it's too early for that because she doesn't have that leveled up moment of courage.
Yeah, this is just... Yeah, this is just like totally is gonna like grief your lane and they're gonna get a free deny. Yeah, I mean that was just...
Yeah.
You just can't do that. Like if you want to... I mean, just don't be that afraid, I guess, at level 1, right? Like, yes,
Yeah.
they could
Yeah.
definitely do a lot of damage to you here. But, like, don't, like, you know... When
Yeah.
you're in matchups that you think are going to be hard, a good thing that you can do is actually just push out the lane, but not, like,
Yeah.
by drawing it under your tower. Like, don't push it out that much, right?
Right.
And especially because you're going to be, like, missing this creep. But, like, if you just started auto-attacking their creeps down here... That wouldn't be too
Yes.
bad. And then, like, use your stun or something to try and secure the range creep. Or, oh,
Yes.
your shaman took shackles. It'd be nice if your shaman could, like, do it. Because then you'd have more creeps than them. You're probably going to hit level 2 first, and they're going to have a harder time being aggressive on you. So that
Yeah.
can be, like, a way to, like, kind of preemptively deal with the opponent's, like, possible aggression. It's
Right.
like, not point under tower, because then you're like gonna miss CS and like they're gonna have free denies, but just kind of shove
Right.
it out early. So yeah, I mean this just it's not ideal anymore. So like here, when this range creep is about to die, you just can't go for this deny. If you had stun, you could stun him and then go for the deny. But without the stun and like taking Vampiric Spirit, you just can't go for that deny because you're just gonna take half your HP and damage like this. I also
Yeah.
wouldn't be trying to like hit him back here in this situation. Just run. Don't let him get these extra 2 hits off on you.
Radiant's courier has
3.
been killed.
Yeah, because you said you didn't want to trade with him, and then you immediately proceed to like start trading with him.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, maybe that's just a mistake. I
Yeah,
messed
well,
up
it's just
there.
important to have like discipline about these concepts, right? Like, if you
Yeah.
don't, you like you said you didn't want to do it, and then you started doing it, and that's like you said you were kind of autopiloting, which is like kind of what that is,
Yeah.
right? But if you don't want to
Yeah.
do it, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they cast spells from Frog, you don't get 6 charges. You got 3 though. Got the armlet queued up. Some CS. There's not much to do. It's fine. Yeah, I don't understand why you would walk up to hit him here. You know, play defensively.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Like, this guy's level 3 now. You're only level 2. You don't even have your stun. Like, I don't think there's no scenario which you can take like a positive trade with this guy, especially running past like the creep wave. So this just turns into a negative trade for no reason because this was completely unforced.
Yes. Yes.
So just look to defensive aggro backwards there and play chill. Yeah. Now this is very painful. Basically, we're like gonna be in full recovery mode.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Yeah, so right around here. It's unfortunate this guy's like still chasing you, but I would be looking to like
Radiant's courier has been killed.
go back further. So you don't have your item yet. And I think your guys' small camp is blocked. It's like a very unideal situation. Because I'd be looking almost to like go hit jungle creeps here, even. I don't mind that you like go for the little bit of defensive aggro, but the lane's just so bad now. There's nothing really could have done. Okay, you got your helm, your respawns. More tangos.
So one thing here, I kind of so the first question is when you are that low and you don't have any regen and you just can't walk up to the creeps, is it okay to go like TP back to base, get your item, and then walk back?
I mean, there's not really a good answer to that question because, like, ideally you just aren't getting in that situation. I mean, if you are in that situation, I still don't think I don't think you ever like TP bases carry.
Right.
I think you just like go look to like jungle a camp while you wait for your item or something.
Right. Right. And the other thing is I decided to TP back to the safe lane, so I had an option to think of jungling here, but I thought that I thought that I need the XP because I need like at least 2 points or 3 points in my second spell.
Yeah, that's
The-
ideal. I don't mind that you TP back to lane here. Here, you should just stun this guy. Like, I really like that you're clearing this like kind of fast while like they're not over here, right?
Yeah.
And like you're going for this CS, but like here, just stun this guy
Yeah.
so that he can't hit you, and then walk away.
Okay. Okay.
Because you take like 1, 2. You only took two pot shots, but like you're sitting at full mana, right? Like use
Yes.
your mana to like be a deterrent.
Yes.
So here you do stun. It's just not ideal for you no matter what. Oof. Brutal. Yeah. I mean, this lane is just terrible, terrible. No, you guys are so far behind. I mean, if you can like dive and kill both of you under your tower, what are you gonna do? Hopefully not come back to lane. Don't have a TP. Wow, you're still level 3. It's painful.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay, nice. That's a nice play.
I'm not close.
Good rotation from Hoodwink. It's a good stun. So here... well, no, I guess you did everything you could. You ran away and then just like started on your Hoodwink. But here, I would definitely just be looking to like get out of here now. Like just go jungle. I don't think you get anything else staying down here. Okay, you did. Nice. Interesting.
So I kind of grieve him here with the last hit.
That's okay. I don't know. Well, the only thing about this is it's bad because now you don't have a TP to like get anywhere else if they like run at you. But maybe it won't matter.
Right.
It's like what it is. Now you're just in full jungle mode.
Dire's middle tower is under Radiant's
Yeah, the
top
game is like, I'm sure it'll be really hard from here. You don't have a good carry
is under
matchup.
attack.
I feel like AM's so bad this patch that I feel like you can still kind of do something with him. Or I could be wrong about that, but I feel like AM wasn't really a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal. I just mean like, you know, you're playing
Yeah.
a bad hero against AM, so
Yes, yes, yeah,
it makes
that's
the
true.
game, like, hard. They have a strong offlaner, and you're like really behind, and the carry matchup is like not good. And the AM, I think,
Yes.
is like doing pretty well. He's 2-0-3, so.
Yeah, yeah.
So they killed your tower. You're jungling. Yeah, it's also hard because Wraith King wants to like kind of chill bottom and like defend his safe lane, but against this duo, you like really don't want to do that. Take your ult at 6.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mind this, because Legion was bottom. Yeah, they're killing the Invoker. So you're gonna come
Radiant's bottom
up.
tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
this is really bad for us. Nothing really happens here.
Yeah, well, it was a good attempt, honestly. I think you just kind of miscoordinated and like think you guys could get the AM. Maybe you just got
Yeah.
the Snapfire, that would have been good, but it's okay. That's all you're going for. You were like running at the Snapfire, and then like, your team kind of like tried to kill it instead.
Yeah. So this is the dead lane TP, you know.
Radiant's middle
I'm
tower
like,
is under
for efficiency's sake, this is what I asked early on. Do I ever make this TP?
Right. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it is okay. So they had brought Legion in. I think it can be okay. I don't think it's like 100% better than just farming your triangle right now.
Yeah, I feel like I just can't because I'm really low health.
Yeah, would have been kind of annoying to do that. If this was like pushing into you more,
Yeah.
that would be like make it more enticing to me because it's like already kind of pushing out.
Yes.
There's less creeps to farm in general, and then you're basically gonna be looking to like sweep back across this way. So we'll see how you
Yeah.
do this. I think given like if you do this like efficiently, it's not bad in this specific scenario, like with these heroes, and like given that they had like brought the dangerous to you heroes like top. You're hitting creeps without armlet on. That's
Radiant's
pretty low, yeah.
structures are for Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom Radiant's top tower.
I would want to be playing on your face boots here. You're waiting to go for a TP.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's top tower. Radiant's courier Dire's has been killed. Is under attack.
Oh, you lost your courier.
Invisibility.
I think here you look to stay a little bit too long. And like when you come down here, you have to realize that you're like kind of on a timer. Like you want to be out of here as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So I think it might have been better to like use your armlet to like farm this first wave, clear the second wave, clear the stack, and then just like kind of bounce straight back over this way.
Yes.
Because this is given that you don't have a TP, right? Like if you had a TP up, you'd want to
Yes.
stay over here because then if they start to walk over here like they did, then you can just TP
Yeah.
top. But given you don't have a TP, it's kind of weird because you're like running towards them,
Yes.
but like it's better than being stuck over here. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you run towards them and then they like go bottom, like hopefully you can like dodge them and go top. And then if you run towards
Yeah.
them and then they go top, like you can kind of like come back bottom. Having
Yeah.
a TP makes it easier.
Dire's bottom tower is
Yeah, I
under
think you just stay down here a little bit too long. Leads to your career getting sniped. Got some good skeleton usage. But yeah, now you're just like in the worst part of the map.
Even I like a good ball.
Okay, so you like, yeah, it's reasonable. But you walk base, it's kind of, I don't know about that. Because you see them all.
Yeah, so I walk base because of the TP, I think.
Oh, because you don't have your courier. Honestly, that's reasonable, actually. It's really awkward to like be on the map that a TP is carry. So yeah, definitely not ideal. If you'd flown out your courier sooner, I'm pretty sure you would have gotten to you before like they were all there too. You're just kind of slow on your courier, which is kind of what ended up
Yeah.
causing them to be in position to snipe it. Okay, so you guys get a really nice pick off. Yeah, this TP is really bad.
Yeah.
Because this is like not them forcing you out of top. Like
Yes.
this is like you have this whole area to play if you want, and then you voluntarily left it. And now their legion's respawning
Radiant structure.
in your bottom. Like, right? What is this legion gonna do when he respawns?
Yeah, he's gonna run at them.
Yeah. Like they should be pinging you like madmen right now, being like, what is this Wraith King doing? It was just a huge mistake in TP. Really bad.
Yeah.
It just leaves you with no options. Like you only want to make this TP when they've like forced you out of the top area of the map, which like last time is what happened. So like I
Yes.
was like kind of okay with that. I said it wasn't that bad. If you like do it really efficiently and fast, like it's totally okay. Yeah, here
Yeah.
you kind of get lucky that they don't come straight for you. I don't know what that Legion was doing. I think he like started to run top and then he bottom instead of just like TPing straight bottom at you. Because it also... So let's go back to...
Dire's top
Here.
tower assumptions are fortified.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at the mini-map right now. Look at the mini-map.
Dire's top tower.
They
has
get the
fallen.
tower, your team takes a little bit of an engagement. Honestly, you should be dying right now, probably. But like now your team just completely walks out of the top area of the map. Like why
Yeah.
do you guys not control this area anymore, right? Like why are we ceding this to the enemy? It's because like you TP bottom.
Yeah.
You know, if I was this tied, I'd probably be looking to play up here, right? But like your teammates are not always gonna like do the optimal thing.
Okay, so a question here. Let's say that I was afraid of the LCT being in top and us having to fight them because I feel like they're stronger than us. So I decide that I'll go bot and get as much farm as I can because I'm behind and I don't want to fight them. Do you think that makes sense or like?
No, well no, because if you're afraid of the LC TPing top,
Or like they're
I'm not
us
saying you
fighting
have to
the
like
team.
sit in the lane and wait for an LC to maybe show up. But like
Right.
if you stay top, let's just I'll go back again. Slow it down a bit. So like let's just say that you're still here. Let me make this free camo. Let's just say that you're still here right now.
Yeah.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So like you should have been hitting this tower because your whole team was behind you and LC was dead.
Yes.
So like if this guy walks up, like he should just die. I mean whatever, even if he doesn't die, regardless if you're here or
Yeah.
not.
Has fallen.
Yeah.
Like this happens. high ravages for support. And like you could still be farming this, and like the legions like respawned. When exactly did the legion respawn? Yeah, you'd be like killing this. Ideally, the tower's just dead, and then the legion can't TP in, right? The tower dies, and the legion respawns. So the legion can't be here right now. Like at most, he could like TP to this tower.
Yes.
So like if you're here, and you're like super afraid of the legion, at this point, like you can just walk. You just like farm back to your triangle, and then you like wait to see on the map where the legion goes. Right? And if the legion doesn't show, then you can like farm this way. And if he shows somewhere, then you know where is safe. But you can't just like make these reactions like with the idea that they might do something. Because if they don't do that, then you just screw yourself.
Yeah, I think
like
you maybe already...
basically.
Yeah, I think you might have alluded to this, but sort of my question is, can you really control an area if you're weaker than them? Or is it situational, like you can control it if there's less heroes, or, you know, you, for example, you take the tower and then you can control that area for a little bit before you have to dodge them?
Yeah, that's what it is, right? It's like it's not like true control where like if they come, like you're planning to fight them and win. But you can occupy an area if you know that they can't be there. And then at a certain point, they could start to be there, right? Like the Legion could have TP'd in. They could be moving towards you to fight you. And you have to like have this sense of like when they could be there, if they're going to show up. And then like act accordingly, right?
Right.
Move away. And then you just use the map and the information you have on the map to like show you like what they actually ended up doing.
Right.
Because like what you could have done is you could have farmed your way all the way backwards, all the way this way, because the Legion was running top. And then he only TP'd bottom later after like his support had died and you had showed bottom. But like he wouldn't have come bottom otherwise, and then you would have just had all this space to like farm, right? And then you would have been down here bottom, but then you would have had a TP up, you know.
Yeah.
This will do.
Okay.
Nicely.
So you're getting your Deso. It's just slow as heck. Oh, this is really awkward. Do you know what I mean by this is really awkward?
Everybody's in the triangle?
Yeah, you have 3 cores in the triangle together. This is like very, very suboptimal. That doesn't mean it was your fault that it started this way. So like here, like right here.
Yeah.
Given that you guys just ran away from them here, like they're here controlling this area.
Yeah.
So I think you need to just like walk. I think you need to not farm this.
Okay.
You need to give this to your team to farm. And you need to like go up here and shove this lane in and like skeletons or whatever, and then like farm the camps. And
right.
Don't farm right on top of each other. And if one of them wants to go do that instead of you, then you can like farm this.
Right.
But like, don't.
Right.
You know, just you can only control yourself, right? So.
Yes.
If they do it, great, and if they don't, like you need to do it. Nice.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, and here again, well, this is kind of like the first TP actually, where it's not terrible, because like they're not gonna like gank you with a Legion.
Yeah.
But it's also like, is there anything else you can do with these 40 seconds? You know, your whole team's grouped up here. So like, to me, like you don't have Ravage, but you have it soon. So to me, I'm not saying you need to like force this tower, but I think you guys can like farm aggressively here, and somebody should go mid and push it in, I think.
Yeah.
Not you. Maybe nobody. But like, you can farm aggressively here, and then decide when Legion's close to respawning if you want to leave at that point.
Right.
Okay, the GTP. This is the same thing as the first time, though. You need to do this quickly, You have
Yes.
like, you have about this long that you can like
Yeah.
be down here before you want to be like out of here.
Yeah.
He's respawning right now. He's respawning.
Yeah.
So you need to not be here anymore. This creep wave is the last creep wave you get here. And now you
Yes.
farm this, and you farm left away from where he would be.
Yes.
That's all you can do. Please tell me you don't farm this next wave. Oh, you farm this next wave. Against better players, you just die here.
Dire's bottom
Yeah.
They're just not playing in a very coordinated way, but they definitely should have been looking to like kill you if you showed there.
Yeah.
Mostly their Sky, I think, is not playing very well. He's not playing the right part of the map with his Legion.
Tis mine.
Can't go on this Legion. What the heck? That's kind of cool. See, snap mid. Over TP's bottom. You know, I don't mind this actually. It's like they have an AM who's not, and the Zeus had shown mid, the Snap had shown mid, so I actually don't mind this. It's actually kind of a cool
Yeah.
play from you. You guys.
Dire's structures in bottom
Uh oh.
Oh yeah.
What happened here? So this is just a mistake because your whole team's not here. So like
Yeah.
one of two things will happen when you go for this. Either A, they'll let you have it for free,
Yeah.
or B, they'll defend it with everybody that they have left. And given that you
Yeah.
don't have your whole team, if they choose to defend this with everybody they have left, it's just super like not ideal for them to all be grouped here. So you just have to like let them defend it
Yes.
and like then just bounce. Yeah, walking in here is crazy. You just get punished for it. Very unfortunate. So you had the opportunity, because then just like what you could do instead, right, is like when the Snapfire shows here and they're glyphing, right, I would just kind of back off, right? I would just go look to like farm this and like see what else
Yeah.
happens. Because like if AM like shows top or something, right, then you can like walk
Yeah.
back over here and like take it, right? The Snap's like here, but he's not really doing anything.
Yes.
But given that you don't have any information and now AM showing, it's really bad. So I would have like walked away as they glyphed it, being like, okay, maybe they're gonna defend this, and then I don't care. And I would have looked to
Yeah.
farm, all the way across the map, and you just go all the way over here, and then get top pushed in and control their jungle, right, as a group, as a
Yes.
team with your freaking Ravage, and like dare them to
Yes.
fight you. Because you guys are like in a good spot now, I think. You've got Desto, you've got Bling Ravage, you've killed the LC a couple times. But you guys are in a position to like start to take over the game, right? And that doesn't mean take a fight right this second, right?
Yes.
But like 2 minutes from now, or a minute and a half from now, you guys could take like a sweet fight up here.
Yes.
With like all your abilities and stuff, and instead you just kind of throw it away here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant
Team like hangs around longer. Reason. Classic. Chase your team all the way back into the base. So you respawn, you walk out of base, which is really good. Really good to not use a TP there. Okay, they're taking a fight in your triangle. You guys get picked off. Yeah, so this TP is too early. And
Okay.
only by a little bit, because they do end up following you, but you don't know here that they're following you. And you cannot assume that they're following you. Because if they're not, you have to stay up here.
Okay.
It's just so important. Like, you have a dead hero, you're not fighting them, and you have no Ravage, right? So you're not really fighting them for a while. So you need to dodge them, and to dodge effectively, you need to, like, leave yourself options. And
Yeah.
it's going to work great, right? You have a bunch of vision here. Like, you'll see if they run at you. But you need
Yeah.
to, like, walk up here and be ready, like, if they haven't shown, or if, like, they show, like, mid or something else, to, like, keep pushing this out and farm, like, these camps, right? Make them come up here to their dead lane to kick you out.
Okay.
Because you TP here without any vision. But, like, let's just say you're not TPing, right? You're waiting.
Yeah.
And then you see this.
Yes.
what I would do is I would still wait. Like, you don't have to TP the second you see this guy, right? Like, I just be waiting up here and, like, seeing what he does. Because you have perfect vision of him, right? So you can just see what he does.
Yes.
If he, like, clears this and farms this, like, you can kind of, like, run over here and farm this, right? If he's, like, over here, you can farm this next wave that is... I think there's a creep wave, like, there's a creep wave, like, right here that you could, like, farm. And getting this creep wave pushed out means that this creep wave is going to walk all the way down here, which is going to give you guys, like, a bunch of information and just be really annoying for them to deal with while they have a dead hoodwink. And instead, you just TP away, and it just gives you no options. And, like, it's not that... It ends up not being that bad because they were actually up here. But, like, say Skywrath and LC, instead of, like, showing here... Say, like, right now, they just, like, showed mid here. And then you had made this TP. It would be so awkward for you. It would just be so bad if they were mid right now and you are down here. Because now you basically can't show. You can't move on the map for, like, 70 seconds. Like, right? You can't go farm their triangle aggressively and then, like, TP out, like, over here without them ever seeing you because you don't have a TP up. So you just have, like, no options. You're just lucky. And so hopefully you see that. Like, that TP, you just can't make it until they force you to make that TP.
Right.
So pretty high level concept, but just super important for not getting the map collapsed on you.
Right.
Because like, you know, half the time you'll just like, I don't want to say like lose the game off that TP, but I mean, like if this is like, if you're trying really hard in this game and you make that TP and they aren't top, and they, like, show mid, your win probability just becomes, like, 15%. Like, whatever the odds are that they then, like, throw in some, like, terrible fashion. But it just becomes so hard to win from that position.
Right.
So if you just not do that and not give, you know, some percent of the time, you'll be fine. But, like, some other percentage of the time, you'll just, like, be, like, guaranteed to like insta lose the game off of that.
Yeah.
And shard. What even happens here? Your team gets like gone on. I like going on this AM. I like kind of get what you're going for, but kind of like ravaged. I mean, I guess you're just thinking you can solo this guy. You can't. Yeah, given he's got a Manta and an ultimate orb. A little unfortunate. I mean, this is just Wraith not matching up well against him. Like, I know you have, like, Deso, and he has to be kind of scared of you, but...
Yeah.
Given that you were so far behind early, you hadn't had such a terrible early game, what you just did would have made a lot of sense, because, like, he would have had to been really afraid of you. But given how bad your early game was, and these is your only items right now...
Yes.
25 minutes. Watch a little bit more. We're almost at 90 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up soon. See like what happens next, and then we'll wrap it after that.
Commit this
Dire's
to
top
memory.
tower is under attack.
Because you walk bottom, that's reasonable. Given that they're probably going for Roshan, this is dangerous because they could be playing down here to like aggressively take this tower if they want. You didn't really have any vision when you started showing on that creep wave, which makes this a little psycho. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I ran away because I saw them, a glimpse of them in the jungle. So I was like, okay, I have to somehow get out, but...
Yeah, so I think here, I think running bottom was correct, but I actually don't think you can, like, show on this wave yet. I think you have to, like, walk bottom, hoping that they're, like, not here, and then Roshan and go show somewhere else, and then you can do what you did. But otherwise, you have to, like, wait here in these trees and wait for them to show.
Yes.
Because if you walk here, and then they show here, you know, after you wait like 5 or 10 seconds or something, then you're like, well, crap. And you can either, like, you know, try and sneak away, or you can, like, TP over to this tier 2 and then, like, farm while they take your tower, because you're, like, not going to be defending your tower. And instead, you, like, it's kind of like the TP, right? You just don't have the information to farm this creep wave safely.
Yeah.
Even if you wanted to here, now you have to, like, you'd have to, like, go back and hide right here. Like, if you thought you could get away with this for whatever reason, now you have to like
Yeah.
get hide here, and you just have to wait until they show somewhere.
Yes.
It's kind of an important concept for carries, is like patiently waiting for like information, but it's super important.
Right.
Alright, we'll watch one more, see what happens. That didn't last very long. We'll watch one other.
Yeah.
Whatever happens next.
Okay.
Team is dying and taking trades actually. Okay. Yeah, kind of overextended without their whole team here. You're going blink. I feel like I wouldn't go blink here. I know you normally want blink, and they do have a bunch of juicy targets to like jump and like blink stun.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of depends actually. If you go blink here, you just can't fight them until you then have your next item, which I think should be BKB.
Okay, so BKB is important in this game.
Oh yeah, if you're against AM as Wraithian, you have to buy BKB. Like, you can't just let them burn all your mana free. Plus they have Sky and Zeus and Snap. This is a
Right.
super good BKB game. Like, yes, they have Duel, but like, ignoring Duel, like, you need a BKB.
Right.
Like, yeah, you don't want to buy a BKB in a game where like they have nothing. Like, they have a bunch of like BKB piercing disables and like no real heavy magic damage. It's not a big deal, but they have a ton of magic damage. So I would definitely be getting BKB here. If you get a BKB first, you can fight them, and then you just won't have a blink, but at least you have a BKB and you can like stun and whack people and do a lot of damage. If you go
Yes.
blink, you can like kind of farm more aggressively and like kind of escape easier and like be across
Yeah.
the map faster and kind of do this dodge thing faster and better. And blink enables you
Yes.
to do that, and then you can farm BKB and then fight when you have BKB.
But Blink's not a fighting item in this game.
It's not a fight item without blink, given that you guys are like behind in this scenario. Because like, what happens if you guys take a 5-on-5 and you blink on like the Zeus?
Yes.
Like, they're just gonna like turn on you and burn all your mana.
Yes.
You know?
That's kind of what happens. Yeah.
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 So like, you kind of have the right idea. Like, you just need a BKB to like execute it. Because I think the blink will still be good, given how many like Zeus and like Snap to some extent, and like Sky. Like, it is really nice to have a blink against these heroes. Like, I don't think it's a bad
Yeah.
game. They just require you just require BKB to function. So it's like, what items can you get before BKB?
Right.
For that to function. Nice. Alright, I think we should wrap it up here. Do you have any other questions?
No. A lot to think about. Just key takeaways. The main thing is like some of my TPs have been really bad, so I've got to think about how to TP better.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a couple of other things. Hopefully, I'll review this once you upload it.
Yeah,
And,
definitely take a look back and learn from it that way.
Yeah, and I'll probably reach out to you later once I've reviewed some of the stuff and try to implement it. So
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can make it into Legend.
yeah,
And
for sure.
beyond.
Yeah. Thank you so much.